Go ahead.
What were your thoughts on Brock and what happened in the first half?
Just had 3 throws you'd love to take back. They're all 3 good decisions. Just a hair late on them, and when you're a hair late on stuff, you can't throw it behind them. And he threw it behind him, and all 3 guys made him pay.
So at halftime, you gave a lot of credit to the defense for keeping, the Carolina Panthers from scoring. What did you think of Ji'Ayir Brown? Because he had a pretty strong performance throughout.
He was awesome. Thought, see more on the tape, but it felt like his best game as a Niner. I think he's been playing at high level here for a while, but those 2 picks were huge, and looked like he made a number of good tackles too.
You say a hair late for Brock. Is that a byproduct of missing all the time that he did, or is it somehow related to the injury itself?
No, there's no narrative to a late throw. You're just a little late, and when you do, which people are late a lot, you just can't throw behind him when you are. You got to put it in front of him, and he had a little behind him on all 3, and all 3 of those corners made him pay.
Do you feel the need to say anything to him at halftime, or you just assume he's gonna figure it out?
No, he's all right. I communicated with him throughout the game and at halftime, but nothing big. Mick's dealing with him throughout the game too, and Brock was fine. Just 3 throws you'd like to take back.
Does that make you hesitant? I mean, after 3 throws in rapid succession to kind of throw the ball downfield?
Yeah, you got to always. You got to think about all of it and why it's happening. It makes me a lot more hesitant if they're all bad decisions and stuff. But he was seeing it right. They were all really good decisions. He just missed the throw on them. So, I think it is a lot worse when you feel like he's not making the right decisions.
Kyle, did you get any sense that Christian was more fired up about this game because it was the Panthers?
Not me personally, just because I've never felt anything from Christian any week about being the most fired up you can possibly be week in and week out. So I don't feel much of a change, but anytime you play the team that drafted you, a team you were with a while, I'm sure it was a little extra special for him.
What did you think of Robert Saleh's game plan tonight?
I thought he did an awesome job. The whole D did. Just especially overcoming those 3 turnovers. When you do that, especially I believe one was right there in the red zone. We got the pick. The other one we held him to a field goal, I think. But it was huge. He did an awesome game plan, and the guys played at a high level to it.
Did you feel this week that there was some carryover and confidence from the defense after their performance last week that they were able to bring it to this week?
I feel like these guys have been playing a while together. Ever since losing Fred and stuff, it's been a bunch of young guys, guys who haven't had their ops yet, and I think each week you can feel them in practice get better and better. Now, it's not always that result on Sunday or on Monday, but today it was. I thought last week it was, and we all know it was a rough 4th quarter, but these last 2 games I thought we've really improved.
What did you see on the blocking on the touchdown run?
It was awesome block by JJ, cracked the D in. We were able to get Trent got up on the free safety, and Christian followed right behind Juice on the cover 3 corner, and it was extremely clean, well-blocked play that allowed him to hit it, I think, from the 12.
Seemed to struggle to stretch the field tonight. Was there anything the Panthers did to make it a little bit more difficult?
No, I thought he did stretch the field, just missed all 3 of those throws. So when you have those ops and you miss them, it's tough to get them again. Both those guys did a good job of was making them pay when the ball was behind. Number 8's got some good hands, and I don't know who got the other one, but 2 good catches by those guys, 3 good catches by those guys.
How do you guys go from having a defense that's young and learning to raising the expectations for them now? What will be required down the stretch?
We don't really talk about raising expectations. We just talk about trying to play as good as we can every week. I think those guys haven't got caught up in too much. They come to work every week. I really like how they've been in practice week in and week out. Had our toughest game versus the Rams about 3 weeks ago, and you would never felt that by watching how they practiced on Wednesday. It's been very consistent with these guys. They're really just locked into their jobs and trying to do the best they can.
McCaffrey leads the league in both rushes and receptions. How has he been able to sort of withstand the workload and also be successful with those touches?
I think he's always successful when he gets his touches. I don't think that's been any different probably since he was playing Pop Warner football, And he's always been very durable. He's been able to avoid again a bad injury, and being able to avoid that's allowed him to keep going. And it's, he really makes our pass game go. When things aren't there, just how automatic he is on the checkdowns and stuff underneath allows us to stay on the field a lot. And I think it's one of the main reasons we have so many 10-play plus drives.
When Brock threw the 3rd pick, did you at all consider going to Matt, considering how well he'd been playing?
No.
There's some glue guys on defense that maybe help this group stay together as they're kind of trying to find a new identity without Fred and Nick?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to sit in and say names, but it's like I think all our guys have had a little bit part. I mean, I think Curtis Robinson, getting his first opportunity today to start at Mike linebacker, I thought was huge. But he's been around us for a while, and one of the guys people respect the most on the team. I thought Tatum's done an awesome job. He wasn't there today, but when you talk about glue guys, just the guys who show up each week and just work no matter what the circumstances are. Tig's been that way, huge. Ji'Ayir, always Demo. I think Samo's stepped it up big. I'm really proud of our defensive guys, so I hate to even leave any names out. I mean, there's not a guy out there that I feel hasn't been grinding and giving us his all every week.
How big was the McKivitz fumble recovery, and what did you think overall of the offensive line?
I thought they did a good job. I thought they protected well. I thought we run blocked well. I thought that was a hell of a play by that linebacker. I mean, you could see him sneaking behind and getting that ball from Christian, and it's just awesome when you're always running after the play, playing all the way through the whistle. Good things happen, and Colton does that every play, and fortunately it was, so we didn't have a turnover there.
Did you see what happened to Jauan on the last series?
Yeah, the guy took a cheap shot and hit him in the balls, and I was real proud of Jauan for not losing his mind out there and getting him to the sideline.
Carl, nine touches for Christian on that opening drive. I'm sure that was scripted. But then you kind of backed off of him a little bit. Did Carolina do anything to take him away from you, or was that just part of your plan going in anyway?
No, I mean, it wasn't scripted. Those plays are. I mean, when we hand it off, it is. But when you're, I mean, I'd be surprised how many passes where he's number one. If people are covered, you go to a check down, and Christian's as good of a check down as there is in the league. So, makes things pretty decisive for a quarterback. And every time we go to him underneath, usually we go to him in the right decisions because people are covered deep, and he's real easy to get the ball to after that.
Good. All right.
All right, guys. Thanks.
It was a great win for you guys, but obviously the 3 picks are something you'd like to get back. What did you think of those 3?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the decisions of going to those spots, I was fine with. It's just the execution of throwing a better ball. I feel like on really all of them, I need to just drive the ball a little bit more, and I kept it up in the air too long on multiple of them. But that's on me, man. I thought our receivers did a great job of getting separation and winning, and so it's just execution-wise, I got to throw the ball more on a line and put it there. So.
How did you feel the ball was coming off your hand? Is the toe inhibiting your ability to drive as you normally would?
No, toe's fine, feels good out there. It's really just seeing the play develop in anticipation and letting it rip at the end of the day. So had nothing to do with my toe.
On the first drive, you kind of just taken, it was obviously a lot of play drive, whatever. Did you feel like you were trying to force it a little bit, just trying to get the ball down the field a little bit in those instances?
On the first drive, you said?
Yeah, I'm saying after the first drive, you did the picks, they were 20 plus yards downfield. Did you try to loosen it up a little bit in terms of?
Yeah, no, I think my read just took me to where I threw the ball, and at the end of the day, like I said, just from what I saw up on the big screen, I thought the guys were there. I just missed the throws, to be honest, and so got to go back and watch the film and actually see what happened and whatnot, and see why I threw it the way I did. But at the end of the day, I thought our guys were there, and the ball should have gone there, and it's just I got to make the play and throw it better.
Brock, you've had similar games at Ravens, for example, so you've been here before, but does that affect your confidence when you have, picks, kind of in rapid succession, and how do you combat that?
Yeah, it's tough. Mentally as a quarterback, you want to play aggressive, you want to take what the defense gives you, but when you turn the ball over really 3 drives in a row, it's like, all right, you feel it. You feel a little bit of pressure and stuff, but this is why we're put in this position. I can handle this. As a quarterback, you can't lose confidence in yourself. You can't, shrivel back and then all of a sudden take a bunch of checkdowns and stuff. You still got to read the play out and stay aggressive and be better. You got to learn from your mistakes too. But, the good thing is I got a great team around me. I got, guys that believe in me, since I've stepped in this building, guys have, had my back. And so our defense played their butts off. They did absolutely amazing, and they got the ball back for us. They made stops. And so that's football, man. It's 4 quarters for a reason. Obviously, I don't want to have that kind of performance, but I'm an NFL quarterback, and, you have games like this, and it's all about how you prepare and get better and move on to the next. I feel like the greats and the good quarterbacks, man, they don't dwell on the past. They're able to, go through some bumpy, trials and stuff, and then learn from it and keep going. So that's the challenge ahead of me, and I'm excited for it.
Did anybody give you a pep talk at all, Brock, after any of those interceptions or at halftime?
No, I mean, just everybody, man. Juice, George, all the guys, man, coming up to me, and they just keep telling me, keep slinging it. Don't lose your confidence, and they all got my back. So it was just everybody. There wasn't like one guy that said something in particular. So the vibe around the locker room is everybody showing love, and they got our backs, and you go through tough things, but like I said, like we're all in this together, man. So love our locker room, love our team, and we're good.
When you're not driving the ball the way you would like, do you know why? Like, is it a footwork issue? Is it mechanics? Do you have to go back and look at the film?
Right now, I got to go back and look at the film. Not really sure. On the top of my head, it's just being aggressive and letting it rip and leading the receiver. So, but I got to watch the film and let you guys know later.
Christian McCaffrey leads the NFL in both rushing attempts and receptions this year. How has he been able to be such a sturdy force every game and just productive all season long like that?
Yeah, man, just the way that he trains and his preparation and understanding what he's about to go through every single game. Like, that dude is on a routine and on a schedule better than anybody that I know, and so he's able to carry that kind of workload and make the plays out of the backfield as a receiver, and then run the ball hard and fight and scratch and claw for every yard, And so we have nothing but the utmost respect for that guy and what he does for our team, and does it over and over and over again. And so, I mean, obviously the numbers are great, but more than anything, man, he's a great example for all of us in the locker room.
Did you get any sense that this game was more important to him?
No. I mean, the way that he prepares every single week, he's always on one. He's always on top of his stuff and the details and stuff, and his mindset. He wants to go out and he's ready to pummel somebody. Like, that's Christian. And so, obviously, if you guys ask him, I'm sure he'd give you an answer. But they did trade him overnight, kind of thing, and he wasn't able to say bye to his teammates. So, I mean, I'm sure that's something. You don't forget that as a player. But more than anything, we see this every week from him. So.
Serves in 2022 when he got here, it was you that worked with him more to get him up to speed. Do you remember him when he first got traded, if he had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder at that point?
Definitely. Right when he got traded and he came here, and Jimmy was going through stuff as a starter and stuff, and so as a backup, like, I was the one sort of just helping Christian as much as I could, walking through plays and stuff after practice and meeting a little extra and going over stuff, and so you could tell like he was on top of it, and I was like, man, this is Christian McCaffrey, like all-pro running back and everything. I wasn't really sure, how he was going to be, but he acted like he was a rookie in terms of wanting to learn, wanting to know all the ins and outs of the offense and the details. So he's been like that. He still is like that. And, I mean, you guys see it every Sunday. He puts on performances like this.
Last one, Omar, go ahead. From your lens, from your job's perspective, what's it like knowing you have that kind of a reliable target that can be anywhere on the field?
I mean, it's nice. Obviously, like, he's Mr. Reliable, like, he's always there. But more than anything, I just try to go through my reads and progressions, and then when 23 is there, I'm like, all right, cool. I know that if I get the ball in his hands, he can make a guy miss and turn a 4-yard gain into a 7, 8, 9, 10-yard gain, and he's done that over and over again. So, explosive player. I'm grateful to be playing for him or with him, and obviously we need to keep finding ways to get in the ball.
Brock, after I think it was your second pick, you went over to some position groups and had a few words. What was kind of your message?
Just owning up, that's on me. Everyone's doing their job and fighting, and we got grown men, man, playing for their careers, and every game, every play matters. So when I'm out there and I'm not driving the ball and completing the ball, when Ricky's working hard on his route, the offensive line's working their tail off to block for me, I feel that. I want to play really good for them. So I just went over there and owned up to it and said, that's on me, guys. Keep doing your thing, and I'll be better for you guys. So.
All right. Thanks, Harris.
Thanks, guys.
How about Brock Purdy's Toyota-thon jacket? Some people are just bought. It is what it is. I wear my Little Caesars thing once a year. Not yet, though, I don't think. This is Levi's, though. They made me wear this, so. Actually, I wanted to wear it. My wife liked it, is what it is. I got to throw a wrestling shirt underneath. Oh, this is Edge. Everybody's got a little edge in them. Her. What do you guys got for me? Anything fun?
Did you have to say anything to Brock when he's on that interception spree and settle him down?
He threw an interception tonight? I never say anything after the first one. Second one, I just said, dude, just take a deep breath, man. You know, you've been here. You're good. Just breathe, let it out, move on to the next play. That's it. He's a professional. He knows what he's doing.
No words for him after the third interception, too?
No, I think Kyle had some. He's fine. I'm not too worried about Brock. I will say one of those interceptions he threw, I think it was the third one. They did like alert coverage with the backside corner, which was pretty impressive. That was a cool coverage. So, I mean, like, I don't expect Brock to see that at all. I mean, your read's coming this way, and the guy's coming from the left side of the field sprinting across. I think that's just a good play by him and a good call by that defense coordinator.
Speaking of good plays.
Yes.
Ji'Ayir Brown made a few tonight. I asked Kyle Shanahan about him. He said that was his best game as a Niner. What did you see out of Ji'Ayir Brown?
Well, the first interception, we're all sitting there just throwing like the tight end's wide open. Please, somebody cover him. And then he kind of just popped out of nowhere, made a huge play after an interception. So anytime you turn the ball over and your defense can hold him to 0 points is a huge thing. So shout out to him on that. And then his second interception, that was on our side of the 52. So huge play. Just, right place, right time. And the thing I love about Tig, he works really hard every single day, and I respect the hell out of him for that. We all have, he's had down days. He's had days where, fans aren't really happy with him. And then he just shows up every single day and just works really, really hard. And, if he doesn't have those two interceptions and that's a touchdown or it's a completion somewhere else, it's a completely different game.
Play, I think it was to start the third, where you picked up a blitz and then you caught a short pass right after. What was going through your head when you sort of went through all of those?
That was actually, it was a play at a bootleg. It was just a bootleg, and basically it's actually funny. Right before the play, they said, "Hey, if there's pressure, change your route. Like, don't slam and go to the flat. Just do something differently." And they called it. They pressured right into it. So it was a good call by our coaching staff to just give me a heads up on it. And just it's fun to have green grass in front of you. It's really fun just to be able to rumble and bumble and stumble. So I thoroughly enjoyed that.
What did you see on Christian's touchdown? Was that block just like you guys drew it up?
The one down the left side of the field?
Yeah.
I'm on the backside just sprinting for my life trying to cut somebody off, and I was able to cut him off just enough. And thank goodness Christian McCaffrey's just really good at football and just makes guys miss, and he just trotted in the end zone. That makes me really happy. So anytime he's just feeling himself and running at a really high level, the Niners are a very good football team.
Thanks, George.
Thank you, guys.
Attention to the league during the season, but if I'm not wrong, I think you lead the league in touches, and you're like tied for third when it comes to touchdowns as receiving, and then you lead the league rushing. What's it like for you to kind of come into a game and then have another big game like tonight?
I really don't see it that way. I think there's probably a lot left out there that we want, but anytime you get a win in this league, it's awesome. I think and to your question, anytime I'm able to step on the field and play, I feel extremely blessed. I'm my biggest critic, always want more, but love the fact that our guys went out there today and found a way to win.
You said that any extra emotion you'd have from playing the Panthers would come kind of organically as the game approached. Did you have any? What did you feel as a team?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to playing in the league, you have to approach each week as similar as possible, stay in your routine. You can't get too far outside of what's normal for you. And so I tried to do that. And obviously, when you see familiar faces, it's always good to see them before the game and after the game. But that's a completely new team than when I was there. So it's really just business once the ball snapped.
Leading the league in touches the way that you are. First of all, how are you feeling physically, and how are you able to, within your training regimen, be able to handle the workload that you do?
Yeah, I mean, I feel great. Physically I feel good. Again, I think I work hard. We got a great staff out here, but I say this all the time, and God is good, and I feel really blessed to be able to be playing football right now and to have as much load as I've had and continue to play. I give all the glory to God.
What did you think of the way Brock bounced back? He threw the 3 picks, but he just seems like he just has that mentality to just keep winging it.
Yeah, I love that about him. I love that when maybe he's might be struggling early, he still rips it. And that's what we want him to do. We want him to keep playing confident. And so, when he's playing like that and doesn't miss a beat, we know that he can do special things.
When he throws 3 picks in kind of very rapid succession, do you feel the need to say anything to him?
No, absolutely not. No, I
Why
mean,
is that?
he's as poised as nobody needs to, he's a professional and a really good football player. Nobody needs to tell him anything. I think it's like, if I make a mistake, I know I make a mistake. Or if I have a drop, I know, somebody says catch the ball, it's like, it makes you want to knock them out. It's like, those aren't, there's not really nothing to say. You just keep on playing. It's a long game and anything can happen. So you don't say anything to him.
Christian, when you first got here, you worked extra with Brock to get caught up on the playbook. Did you notice that about him then, that there was kind of this even-keeled confidence even before he was starting?
Yeah, definitely. He's a humble warrior. He's quiet, obviously, but he plays with so much energy, and he's got a massive chip on his shoulder, which is something that we love and that you want in your quarterback. He's aggressive. He doesn't hesitate, and he's a great guy to have in the huddle.
Good.
Appreciate you guys.
What's up?
You picked up a bunch of passes at Penn State. It's something you're used to doing, but it's been slow to happen here. How did tonight feel for you?
God is great, man. God is great. I always pride myself in being a ball hawk, and like you said, man, it's just been slow, and just keep getting at it, man. Keep going, you know what I mean? Keep taking game by game, waiting on your opportunity, and tonight I was able to capitalize.
What did you see on both of them?
I'm sorry.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you like to say chopping wood and carrying water. That's like one of the sayings that you kind of go by. And being that you came into this game or this season, you were a starter, then not a starter, and then you get a rewarding win like this. And then Shanahan just a second ago saying it was your best game as a Niner. How does that make you feel? And does it feel full circle?
It'll feel full circle soon enough, but not right now. Yeah, but chop wood, carry water, man. Just not down to yourself, not just going out there every week, man, and trying to be your best. Dropping expectation for appreciation, and appreciating the game, appreciating the guys I work with, and going out there to execute my job.
Can you walk us through the 2 interceptions, what you saw and how they kind of developed?
First one was, sudden change. It don't really matter to us. Go out there, play defense, and seeing Bryce, looking down the middle of the field, looked like he was finna scramble at first, but kind of stopped and felt like he seen something. Kind of read his eyes and just went to go jump it. Then the second one, same thing, just reading his eyes, man, and it was tight coverage by Renardo Green. Jumped in front of that, made the play for the team.
Here, I'm curious, Robert Saleh was really fired up on the sidelines during the game. You've gone through a couple different coordinators, but what kind of confidence has he kind of put in and instilled in you?
I said this earlier, man, it's his passion for the game, bro. To see him hanging out late nights, early mornings, watching endless tape, trying to put us, holding on, being accountable to himself to put us in the best situation possible. And, man, you just want to go out there and execute when you see a guy that passionate about defense, man. And tonight I was able to execute for that.
Did Purdy or any offensive guys have anything to say to you for kind of bailing him out after the interception run?
It's not, man, it's the game of football, man. It's like, it ain't no bailouts, man. We see turnovers happen. We see interceptions happen. It's all a part of the game. If it was a perfect game, I don't think people will watch it as much, but, just having the offense back, man, like they had ours previous weeks, and playing complimentary football.
Ji'Ayir, how did you steady yourself entering the season as a backup, having to adapt to a new role, a big nickel, before ultimately going back to safety? How did you kind of ground yourself throughout that process?
Goes back to trusting God, big believer in God, man, big believer in my abilities on the football field, and not letting nobody or nothing shade me from that, God has timing for all of us, and tonight was my time.
A couple more here just to get a win. So you guys have a streak going, because Trent was saying how you guys have been kind of hot and cold. It's just been kind of some consistency.
It feels good to get some consistency, honestly. Two win streak, trying to make it 3 coming this week, trying to make it 4 coming the next week. It's hard to get a win in this league, man, and you just want to keep pounding at it, keep trying to, grab a win every week, no matter how the game look, no matter how it go, as long as we win at the end of the day.
How has this defensive group shaped a new identity, maybe, about Fred and Nick?
I love this group, man. A bunch of young guys, hungry, passionate, want to be great, want to be put in a situation to be great. Malik, Stout, RG, Demo, Curtis, D, Samo, all the guys, Huff, man, every last one of them, AC, every last one of those guys want to be great, man. And they just want to contribute, to a win as much as they can. And when you have a young group like that that's hungry and passionate, you can be unstoppable defense.
It was a hell of a defensive effort, all three levels. What was Salah's message to you guys this week? Because, man, you guys really seemed like you came out focused.
We had a couple of guys speak this week. A couple of the guys spoke last night, and Samo spoke, man, about opportunity, and a lot of guys felt that story coming from Samo, and man, tonight was a night, to have the opportunity to show the world what the 49er defense is, being down some of our best players, and the guys did a great job of doing that tonight.
All right, Thanksgiving approaching this week. What are your thoughts? And what's on the dinner table for Thanksgiving?
My mama landed in town this morning. There's gonna be some great meals cooked. I'm a big dessert guy. I'm gonna try to eat little amount of banana puddings. I ain't gonna go too crazy because we got a big game coming up this week. But happy Thanksgiving to all you guys. Appreciate you guys and thank you. Yep.
Oh yeah, that was a big statement. Tig been playing great. Today, the ball was coming his way. He was making plays. Blessing. He's a blessing to have. For this team. For the DB room. He's a true leader too.
When it comes to Ji'Ayir, I just asked Kyle Shanahan. He said that was the best game he had as a Niner, he believes. To kind of know, I know y'all are friends, but then to see him throughout the season go from being a starter to not a starter, to come back and then have a game like this, how excited are you for him to have that kind of game?
A lot of people can't handle that, with just being pulled from a starting job and then, having to come back and then earn your starting job back. But, the way he's been handling that, it's been the best ever, coming back and then getting 2 interceptions, he was a blessing, especially on Monday night. He was big for us.
After last week, what kind of emphasis did you put on continuing the turnovers?
Really just catching the ball. We be right there. We just finishing. I would just say we had to finish better. With catching the ball. We be already trying to run right after the catch. I would just say, we made a little DB, I ain't gonna say bet, but yeah, just like just within the group, for practice, just for catching the ball and then finishing off with the jugs. We force each other to, be great.
Who typically wins in practice?
Oh, me. Tig won today. Tig won today, MVP.
Mm-hmm. With the offense having a few hiccups in the first half, how important was it for you guys to sort of buckle down and keep control of this game?
It was very important, because sometimes, we might be having a rough game. Offense was having a rough game today. We just continue to work and just try to make them count in threes.
So much time. Despite what happened, you guys got the win. How you feeling?
Let's go. Dub Nation. That's how I'm feeling.
Okay.
So it got a little chippy there at the end, Jauan. Were you just very competitive in that moment at the end of the game?
Man, TV gonna tell you what happened, man. I was just responding to me some childish behavior. That's all it was.
Kyle said it was a cheap shot, and he was proud of you for not retaliating in the moment. How did you kind of stop yourself from retaliating?
Well, we talk about all the time how small this window is for us, and so being 7-rounder, come off. I don't want to make any mistakes. I'm trying to go out there and play the hardest I can, and I like the rest to help me out when they can.
It looked like they were trying to get the attention. Were you surprised to be bouncing off the 2 defenders and make their way in?
No, we never surprised. And I just watched this movie called Now You See Me, Now You Don't. You see that second one?
Yeah.
It said, number 1 rule, when you're surprised that it actually works, don't be surprised. So when you're surprised.
Well, has there been stuff building between you and Maury throughout the game, or is it keep talking about it?
That was just out of nowhere. I think it's probably just like I was saying, just the history of me playing ball. I play hard. You know, I'm physically stronger than a lot of DBs out there. So, you know, yeah, a lot of things happen in between the whistle, you know, with me at least.
It looked like you were trying to get the attention of the officials. What were you saying to them, and what were they saying to you?
Just look at the scoreboard, and they were just saying play ball.
Performance tonight, 2 interceptions.
Ji'Ayir?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's my locker mate right there. You see him? Yeah, Tig, man. Big ups to Tig. Very proud of him. And, you know, we want more. We want more from him, man, because, you know, that's what it's about, man. The guy making a name for himself.
About Tig, and he said, you know, I think that was the best game he had as a Niner. And to know that he started the season kind of in somewhat of a cycle, being a starter, not a starter, and to see him come out like this, what do you think of that? And how big is that for a player?
I think it's just big for any player and their confidence. You know, for Tig to do what he did tonight, it was big for us, and you know, huge part of the reason we won, if not the main reason.
Jauan, how odd was it, just Brock getting intercepted series after series after series? I mean, how did he compose himself?
Oh man, it's ups and downs, but like just talking about Ji'Ayir there, you know, just having a defense that just bend but won't break. You know, that was the key to the game tonight.
Things like that are really inspiring as an offense. You know, when you could trust guys, you know, go out there to get a stop, and you know, for us to get momentum and continue to drive down the field. And so I think they did a great job.
And Ji'Ayir is a guy that you've played opposite of a long time, and he's been up and down. What did you see?
Yeah, I think he did a great job. Having 2 picks like that, it's awesome. You know, he's a great cat, so it's super cool to see, you know, someone like that works really hard, you know, does it the right way, to get an outcome like that and get 2 picks. It's definitely well deserving, and you know, I'm excited for him moving forward.
What did you see from Brock in the huddle? I know he was kind of up and down there for him a little bit. How did he handle it?
I think he handled it tremendously. You know, Brock in the huddle, you know, he has a presence to himself. I think he does a really good job of, you know, fleshing things when, you know, maybe things aren't going our way. But, you know, he does a really good job of that. My job is just, you know, to continue to do mine as the best as I can and encourage him if I can in any way. But, you know, he already handles it really well himself moving forward.
Mickey, what did you make of the offense? You had a couple of real long, successful drives, and then obviously a little clunky in between with some of the picks. What did you make of the unevenness of the offense?
Yeah, I think you described it yourself. You know, we had drives where, you know, we were driving down the field. There was never a time where I didn't think we were not having success on offense. I feel like we're driving down the field pretty well, but we're just having, you know, miscues, turnovers, whatever it is, killing ourselves. And, you know, when you do things like that, you're not going to get the outcome you want with a lot of points. So, you know, moving forward, we just got to make sure we eliminate those things.
How difficult do you think it is for Christian? I know he enjoys it, but just from a player's perspective, to get the touches that he gets per game.
How
tough would that be to get all those touches? Because he seems to love it, but he's just getting touches after game. I think he got over 30 tonight. He had 25 plus last week.
I don't think it's tough. I mean, I would love 30 touches a game. Yeah, I don't think it's tough at all, honestly. You know, he's a really good football player, and you know, whenever the ball's in his hands or going his way, you know, success happens. So why not keep throwing to him, hand him off the balls, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really tough. I think it's actually really fun for him, and he probably wants that. So do I. So.
There's no style points in the standings. 8-4 is not too bad at this point in the season.
Yeah, no. You know, we got a lot moving forward. We got some big games coming up. We're happy with wins like this. We get to celebrate tonight and tomorrow, but you know, we're right back to work the next day. So.
How much did you enjoy the experience of being on the Monday Night Football game?
I love it. I think I only played in one Monday Night Football game so far. The last year was the Lions game last year, Monday Night Football game. Yeah, I had a lot of fun that game. Yeah, except for the win, not getting the win. That was not fun. I had more fun tonight. We got the win. So yeah, I really enjoyed the Monday Night Football games. Great atmosphere. And yeah, the fans pop out. They're really loud, and I like night games. Yeah.
Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Couple weeks. Yeah, you know, we opened that can of worms, and now we just flying. We dialed in, you know, reading our indicators, and we playing fast, physical football. So we knew it's something that we're gonna hone in on, and now, you know, we done got us a few more. So we gonna keep this train rolling. I'm happy for the guys, and you know, it's gonna be some more for the weeks to come.
Is there a rhythm to physical football? You were one of the first ones in there for Ji'Ayir after that interception. How excited are you for your teammate?
Oh, you have no idea. Me and Tig, you know, that's my brother, and he was one of the first DBs that really took me under his wing. You know, he's really teaching me the game at a whole new level. You know, his IQ is through the roof, and he put that on full display today. You know, his drive, his love for football, this game, you know, I was just so happy for him that he's able to just showcase it to the world and putting everybody on notice.
He's had to adapt to some different roles this season. He played big nickel for a while before going back to safety. What does it say that he was able to be flexible and do what's best for the team in that way?
Yeah, because he's not just say he a football player. So if coach need him to play something, he go do it to the best visibility. And he's a ball player. We gonna feed off his energy, and he's gonna get the job done when he needs to, no matter where he is.
A little special tonight playing a team from Carolina for you.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, but it's just nice to, you know, showcase that Monday Night Football. Hopefully the people back home able to witness it. So, you know, definitely a little bit of more drive there playing Carolina, but you know, just another game for real.
You have any texts from buddies throughout the week kind of hyping this one up for you? Talking crap?
Oh yeah, my dog JP, man, he talked about Bryce Young go throw it all over us today. So, you know, I'm gonna definitely hit him back, see if he tuned in, you know, but yeah, just really thankful we got this dub. We were able to showcase some talent on defense today.
We talk about rush and coverage tying together. Did this feel like, I know you haven't seen the tape yet, but for you from that safety position, did it feel that this was the most cohesive those two had tied together in a while?
For sure. Like, I let the D-line know that, hey, we got y'all on the back end. You know, we got to do that, our job that much more just to, you know, give our guys a chance. And same vice versa, same way it goes when the D-line is humming. We got to make sure we do our jobs on the back end. So it's just, you know, well-orchestrated football, sound football. You know, you could feel the energy from the first play up until the last. Like, we conditioned for it. And I feel like the most conditioned team won this game. So I'm just happy for this defense, and it's just we just scratching the surface.
First back-to-back win since week 3. How excited.
It's exciting, and we know what we're capable of. We know we had to, you know, we have the guys to string some games along, but we all got to be consistent. You know, this game is just a testament to what we can achieve, what we can be, but we have to be consistent. So we have to, you know, got a short week, we got to go to Cleveland, we got to do it again, and then we're going to have that bye week. After the bye week, we got to do it again. So it's all about consistency.
It's been a particularly long journey to get to this first start for you. So what did it mean to get that start, but also for it to go that well for the defense as a whole?
It meant the world to me. It's been really difficult. I mentioned this to the defense last night. It's been really difficult this whole week for me not to really kind of reflect on, you know, the whole journey and kind of just keep it about the team, keep it about the defense, because it was a huge moment for me. And so to be able to come out the other side with a huge win on Monday night and finally be able to reflect on, you know, like you said, how long it's been and what I had to go through to get here, it's just I'm grateful more than I could ever explain.
To kind of follow up on that, I asked you earlier this week how you felt about your last performance. You said there were a lot of things you wanted to fix and clean up. What did you think about this performance?
I'll probably say the same thing to you. Like, I really got to tackle better. That's my biggest thing. That was the same thing last week, and you know, I'm going to continue to try to do that as long as I'm out there. I just got to be a better tackler for this defense. Honestly, if I'm going to be in the middle, I got to be a sure tackler. But you know, my biggest thing this week going in was making sure that communication was on point, and making sure that everybody had trust in me, getting them lined up. And I feel like that's where we were at. I felt like we were on it the whole time.
And Shanahan gave you guys credit as early as halftime for keeping you guys in it. So how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great. You know, that's the standard, though. You know, that's how the team works. You know, if the offense isn't firing the way they need to, they can lean on us, and vice versa. We know that we have their trust. You know, if we're not firing the way we need to, we can lean on them. And so today, like, you know, it felt good to be able to be that for the team.
Curtis, how was this group shaped in you identity without Fred in you?
I think really the next man up mentality has been huge this year, and I commend everyone who's had to step into a starting role or even a backup rotating role, because it's not an easy thing to do. When you lose your two biggest leaders on this team, or on this defense, it's not an easy thing to do, to go out week in and week out and really perform. And like I said, we have players at every level who have stepped up, not only on the field but in leadership roles, and really helped us get to the point where we're at.
After you guys had your last home game, it was a tough one against the Rams. How big is it for you guys to bounce back and have a home win?
It's huge. I mean, you guys see the momentum in that stadium, man. Our fans are some of the best in the league, if not the best, and to be able to do that on prime time after the way that we came out last time was huge for us.
You guys feel like already like your playoffs are already here, given the way that the standings are in the West?
I won't speak too much on that. We got a big game coming up next week, and I think that's where our focus is. But you know, obviously, we're looking forward to potentially getting to that point for sure.
Yeah. So you had a career night, 2 picks. Is that a testament to what you're talking about, that mentality? He had to move to big nickel, adapt to that role. Now he's back at safety. Like the flexibility there, what does it speak for?
Yeah, I commend Tig. You know, he didn't have his ideal start to the season, like you said. He was moving around, and he just kept his head down, kept quiet, kept working, and let the play speak. And so for him to be able to do that on national television on Monday night, and in a moment where we really needed him, the team, not even just the defense, the team needed that. And when you can get 2 turnovers in a game like that, it's especially in the red zone. That was one of the bigger plays we've had this year, especially in the moment in the game that it came. I can't speak highly enough about Tig and how he performed.
Robert Saleh has said that with the age of the inexperience of this defense, he expects it to get better and better as the season progresses. Are you guys starting to recognize that now as you guys have played together and some of these young players are getting more experience in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, for a young player, experience is the best thing that you can get to improve, and then also just to be able to recognize certain things. You know, we have guys like Up and Stout. You know, Malik's in his 2nd year, and we have so many guys who are really coming into their own, and they just feel more comfortable out there, and you can kind of see it in the way that they're playing. They're identifying things faster, and you know, even within the scheme, they're more comfortable. They're not thinking as much on the field, so they're able to play faster. And I think even from a camaraderie standpoint, everyone's coming together as the season goes. And you know, Kyle kind of mentions it to us every year. The more that you go through as a team, and for us as a defense, the closer you get, and the more trust that you build within each other. So you know, for that group, I think that's where we're at right now.
Obviously, we didn't play up to the standards we'd like to, but it's enough to get the W. But it took everybody.
Your back-to-back interceptions, but Brock, what were you guys saying on the sideline?
Next play.
JJ obviously wasn't thrilled at the end of the game, and I know you were kind of holding it back there. What did you make of the whole situation?
I just got in late, just help the civilians get them off the field.
How big was it? I mean, I know everyone's important, but was it kind of important though, as far as like coming off the last home loss against the Rams?
I wouldn't say that. I think it was more important that we stopped this hot and cold, win one, lose one thing. So.
You're 3-0 in prime time. Does that indicate that a team is ready for the big stage and maybe come playoff time it helps, or not really?
Not really. I don't think so.
CMC got the first 5 touches and obviously had a big game. I mean, was there a little extra juice? He kind of downplayed it a little bit, but he's going against his former team.
Yeah, he's been gone so long. They done fired about 5 coaches since he's been gone. So, you know, I think that kind of wore off a little bit.
Your teammate Ji'Ayir Brown had 2 interceptions. How excited for him?
Man, super proud of him. You know, he puts in the work every day. So intense. You know, so detailed in his work, his preparation. Just to see it all come together for him, really excited for him.
Short week this week. How important is it just to let this go and get right dialed back in?
Yeah. Tuesday, in a few hours, and you know, we had to start switching our focus to Cleveland.
Myles Garrett early on. You ready for that?
Exactly. Yeah, ain't got no choice.
Have you ever had a bye week this late in your career? It feels like.
I don't believe so, but like I said, I played a long time. I wish I could remember every year bye week, but I can't. But for recent memory, yeah.
Thanksgiving is coming up Thursday. What's the dinner plate and your thankfulness for this?
I'm obviously thankful for everything: family, football, health. But you know, we work on the weekends, so we gotta be pretty smart about how we treat Thanksgiving.
Trent, what can you say about Brock's resiliency and coming back and just powering through that whole game?
Yeah, I mean, Brock is Brock. You know, obviously, no one wants to turn the ball over, but I think it's more about how you react to it, how you come back. You know, more so than the result of the interception. So I think he did great. He willed us to a win. He settled down, and you know, we got the win.
Do you feel like Christian got his revenge game?
I don't know about that. You can ask him, but I don't know.
When you're in the hunt like this, does it already feel like these are playoff games for you guys?
In a sense. They're definitely more important than they were 7-8 weeks ago, for sure.
Thank you, Trent.
Thank you, Trent. Appreciate it.
See the defense playing lights out tonight. I think a lot of people came into this game expecting the offense to show out, but you guys really were the difference tonight. Bryce Young was coming off of a franchise record-setting performance against the Falcons in their game last week. Tonight, you guys limit him. What gave you guys the edge tonight against Bryce?
Yeah, I think, the main thing this week was, going and executing for 4 quarters. I think that's a huge emphasis that Saleh put on this defensive unit, and, we just wanted to put it all together and kind of, make the game, the way we wanted it to be. And so I think we executed pretty well, man, and kind of made them check the ball down a lot. And, like I said, I think we executed pretty good.
The 2 interceptions from Ji'Ayir Brown tonight, how big were those for you guys? And what do you think he was seeing on some of those plays?
Yeah, actually me and Tig and a couple other guys, we studied a lot this week. And, I'm not surprised. Tig worked his butt off this week, and, I'm definitely excited for him.
You mentioned Robert Saleh. They did a lot of cutaways tonight to Robert Saleh. Was there anyone more excited on the sideline than Robert Saleh tonight?
No, I don't think so. If anybody was in competition, it would probably be Fred, but he's in the suite. So Robert Saleh brings the juice, the energy, that this young defense needs, and we're very thankful to have him.
You guys had some big stops tonight. I'm thinking about forcing the field goal as opposed to letting the Panthers get in the end zone. You had the big interception from Ji'Ayir Brown in the end zone. What do those plays, how do they fuel you guys as a defensive unit?
Yeah, those are huge momentum swings for us. If we can get a stop and hold them to field goals, I think, we like our chances of winning the game. So anytime the defense can hold them, like I said, to 3 points or less, no points at all, I think that's a good day for the defense. So.
I think internally you guys are not surprised at all by the way you guys have been playing, but you lose Nick Bosa, you lose Fred Warner, you lose Tatum Bethune for an unknown period of time. How have you guys been able to battle this adversity? What kind of mindset does this defense have?
Yeah, I think it's everybody just next man up mentality. I think, Curtis did a great job today, and, everybody else who stepped up, they did a great job. So very proud of the guys.
You mentioned the young defense. Where have you seen the most growth for this 49ers defense this season?
Honestly, I feel like it's linebacker. Usually it's Fred out there and, the will position, me this year. But I think just having, depth at that position and, guys stepping up and playing pretty good. So I think, just seeing growth in our room, I've been very proud of them and, hopefully they're feeling the same way about me. So.
All right, it's a short week for you guys. You know that. You got the Browns. You're going to Cleveland to face them on Sunday. How do you guys prepare on a short week?
We'll enjoy this one for a little bit, but I think just tomorrow, just getting straight to Cleveland and kind of focusing on their offense and seeing what they like to do and just executing.
Do you dare do an imitation of Robert Saleh? Your best? Okay, I thought I was going to try.
No, I'm not good at that. Appreciate it though.
Thanks.
No problem. Thank you.
Back at Levi's.
Bryce, the defense showing out tonight in primetime football. I'm thinking of the sack from Cleveland Farrell. You guys were able to put some pressure on Bryce Young and really limit him. He was coming off of a career game for him and a record-setting game for the Carolina Panthers. Why do you think you guys were successful against them tonight?
We just focused on our P's and Q's throughout the week in practice and in meetings and came out here and did our best to execute that game plan today. So I feel like that's what we got done today.
It seems like Robert Saleh had a little extra oomph on the sideline tonight. Did you get that feeling leading up to this game that he was amping you guys up for a great one?
Not necessarily. I feel like he approached his week the same way, but Monday Night Football, packed out stadium, that juice can kind of get to you, and it's infectious for sure. So I feel like the whole sideline and energy was just on point today.
The defense as a whole, you guys have battled through so much adversity with all the injuries. You were dealt another injury this week with Tatum Bethune being out. How have you guys been able to manage all the injuries, all the adversity that's been thrown your way? You come back out with great mindset and put on a performance like you did tonight.
We just kind of keep that next man up mindset. I feel like everybody on our roster, depth pieces, starters, like we all prepare ourselves like starters, and if the opportunity presents itself, we take full advantage of it. So like with the guys going down, I feel like at every level we have guys that step up and take on that role to the best of their ability. So I feel like that shows up consistently for us.
Not every time do you see players like Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, who are out for the season, around the team a lot. Those two guys are ever present. What does it mean to have them fully support this team?
It means a lot, guys like that to take on that type of injury and still be present with the team and be able to lend advice or just be supportive is huge for us. And we appreciate those guys a lot, and just seeing them around means a lot to us.
What's impressed you the most as a part of this defense that's been able to pull together through all the adversity that I mentioned? What's impressed you the most about your defense?
I just feel like we're a very resilient group, and I feel like no matter what adversity we face, we always find a way to continue to get better and play the hands that we're dealt to the best of our ability.
What has it been like playing under Robert Saleh this season?
It's been awesome, playing with him in New York and coming out here to a familiar scheme and putting my best foot forward, and it's just been a great experience. So I'm looking forward to continue to ball out with him, and we're going to definitely make a run for it here.
What can you say about Ji'Ayir Brown? Those 2 interceptions, game-changing. Malik Mustapha with a big stop as well, forcing the field goal. What do you say about those 2 guys?
I mean, they were on point tonight. You know, Tig definitely had his best game with the 2 interceptions to really, sway the momentum when we needed it, you know. And Mustapha definitely had it. That was a great stop by him, too. So I feel like everybody was on point tonight, but those 2 definitely showed up and had great games.
How do you move past a great win, but then also know that you've got to go to Cleveland on Sunday, and you guys have a really tough division in the NFC West, so you got to keep the winning going?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to enjoy it tonight and tomorrow, but then come Wednesday, we're going to be locked in and focus on Cleveland and just take it week by week and go 1-0.
Bryce, before I let you go, just joining the 49ers organization, what has it meant to you to be a part of this organization, and what have you noticed about the 49ers as a team?
It means a lot to me to be here. You know, there's a great culture, and the group of guys here is just a bunch of hardworking guys, and it's infectious. You know, every day you show up and you see people holding one another accountable, and just you see guys on their P's and Q's, it's kind of hard to let them down. So I feel like it elevates everybody, just seeing how hard everybody works, just a self-feeding cycle. So it's cool to be here.
Bryce, congrats on the win. Thanks.
I appreciate it.